If you love street food, you've got to try this Indian classic. This is Vada Pav, a soft bread roll packed with 3 different chutneys, a potato fritter and crispy chura. Today we're making one of the kings of street food from Mumbai, Vada Pav. So often flavor works in layers, and this one has got it all because it's served with a tangy and sweet, a garlicky and spicy, and a really fresh and herbal chutney. And those chutneys, they complement this soft vada, this potato fritter that sits in the middle of the bun and is topped with some crispy chura. It's an absolute mad one, so let's get started. We'll start with the centerpiece of this incredible dish, the potato. Just add your potatoes to a pan, cover with cold water and season generously with salt. Quick tip, adding salt to the water actually helps the potatoes to absorb less water. When you add salt, there's a process of osmosis. So salt gets drawn into the potatoes, liquid gets drawn out of the potatoes, and you get more flavor and a better texture later on. Cook the potatoes for 30 minutes or until knife tender like this. Then drain them and let them cool off. Once they're cold enough to handle, you can peel them and then mash them so that they're ready for later. Like I've shown in my last video, you also don't need to waste the peels. Just roast them with some oil and salt for a crispy snack. In the meantime, we can crack on with our chutneys. First up is a tangy tamarind chutney. Add 100 grams of seedless tamarind to a bowl and cover it with 200 milliliters of boiling water. After 15 minutes, you can loosen the tamarind from the leftover fibers and strain it through a fine sieve. Squeeze out all of the liquid, then wash it with another 100 milliliters of water and strain again. Now cut off 75 grams of jaggery, which is unrefined cane sugar, and add it to the pan along with 1 teaspoon ground cumin, 1 teaspoon ground ginger, a quarter teaspoon chili powder, and half a teaspoon salt. Bring it to a boil, then simmer it for 20 minutes until it has thickened and coats a spoon like this. Our tamarind chutney is done. Time to make our dry garlic chutney. Toast 6 large garlic cloves and 1 tablespoon of raw peanuts until they have golden spots all over. Then add 3 tablespoons of desiccated coconut and continue toasting until it's golden as well. Now add everything to a food processor along with 1 heaped teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Then blend it until fine and evenly red. Our dry garlic chutney is done. Finally, for our coriander chutney, add a 100 gram bunch of coriander without the lower stems to a blender, along with 1 trimmed chili, 1 garlic clove, half a teaspoon cumin, a 3/4 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and 3 tablespoons of cold water. Blend it into a thick chutney and refrigerate it until later. And that's our coriander chutney. With our chutneys done, we can now make the vada, which is the potato fritter. Start by bashing 20 grams of ginger, 2 cloves of garlic and 2 green chilies into a paste like this. Heat some vegetable oil in a pan, then add 1 teaspoon of brown mustard seeds and shortly after a handful of curry leaves and 1/3 teaspoon of asafoetida. Stir in the ginger, garlic and chili paste and cook until the garlic smells aromatic. Then add a 1/3 teaspoon of turmeric. Turn off the heat and fold through the mashed potatoes along with 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, some chopped coriander and half a teaspoon of salt. Tip it into a bowl and use your hands to mix it. Then shape the mixture into 8 patties like this. There's just one step left. Add 100 grams of gram flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, a 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida and a 1/3 teaspoon of salt to a bowl and whisk in 100 milliliters of water. Then coat the potato patties and drop them into the hot oil straight away. Make sure to leave enough space in the pan, otherwise they will stick. After around 4 minutes, they should look golden like this. Once all the fritters are done, drizzle some of the batter into the pan as well and fry it until golden like this for some crispy chura. And now it's finally time to assemble. I've baked these bread rolls for the occasion and you can find the link to the recipe in the description. Cut a bread roll in half, then spread the coriander chutney over one side, the tamarind chutney over the other and the garlic chutney all over. Add the vada, some of the chura and a fried chili. Here we go, Vada Pav. That makes me so happy. You get this incredible hit of flavor. That's tangy, that's sweet, that's spicy, and it's so well balanced. And what you really want to do is keep those chutneys close, and then with every bite, sort of top them up. So a little bit more of the garlic, a little bit more of the tamarind, and then just digging in again. So obviously that's a lot of work for something you devour within seconds, but is it worth it? Absolutely, the flavor is intense. But you also have to keep in mind that this is a street food from Mumbai. And I think dishes like that really show what kind of effort goes into making them. Because in Mumbai, they won't just make a small amount of chutney, they make massive vats, they make massive tubs, and they have it all prepared. And then when you rock up to the stall, they just prep the vada pav, they just slap in the potato fritter, a little bit of chura, those chutneys, and off you go. So that is street food at its finest. But it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of care. And by once making it at home, you get a completely different perspective on these kinds of foods. So give it a go. It's incredible. It's so much fun to make. And also, even at home, you can just make larger batches. So the dry garlic chutney here, that will keep for a few weeks in the fridge. So make a batch of that, double it up, and same with the tamarind one. Because of that acidity of the tamarind, this one also keeps really, really well in the fridge. And then the coriander one, you probably want to make fresh because the lemon juice is actually going to discolor it and turn it brown within a few hours. Say 3 different chutneys, 2 of them you can prep, and you have an incredible addition to any sort of Indian food. So that's how you make Vada Pav, Mumbai's famous street food. The link to the recipe is in the description below. But this entire series, Vegan Cultures, it's all about showing how natural, versatile and cultural plant-based food can be. If you want to support that mission, then please hit like and subscribe. But thank you so much for watching. And as always, wunderbar!